When we think of Olympic greatness, we often picture global icons on the podium. But what about the Indigenous athletes who paved their own paths to Olympic glory, breaking records and making history along the way? In this first part of our series, we honor the incredible Olympians from Turtle Island One athletes who not only represented their nations, but also inspired generations to come. At the top of the list, we have Jim Thorpe I, a man who needs no introduction. Thorpe is widely considered one of the greatest athletes of all time, dominating multiple sports, but it was in the 1912 Olympics where he truly left his mark. With gold medals in both the decathlon and pentathlon, he was hailed as the World Y92's greatest athlete. Despite facing immense adversity, including losing his Olympic titles due to amateur eligibility disputes, Thorpe's legacy as a pioneering Indigenous athlete endures. His achievements in track and field and football remain unmatched, cementing his place in history. Next, we turn to Angela Chalmers, one of Canada's finest track and field stars. An Olympic medalist and Commonwealth Games champion, Chalmers blazed through the competition in the 1980s and 90s, leaving a lasting mark on the sport. Chalmers made history as the first Indigenous woman to represent Canada in the Olympics, competing in both the 800 meters and 1500 meters. Her passion for the sport and her accomplishments continue to inspire young athletes, especially Indigenous women. Moving on to Alwyn Morris, an Olympic gold medalist in kayaking, who etched his name in Canadian sports history. Morris triumphed in the 1984 Summer Olympics in Los Angeles, where he won gold in the K1 500-meter race, showcasing not just athletic skill, but incredible determination. Born in the Kanawake Mohawk territory, Morris proved that Indigenous athletes could dominate on the world stage, inspiring countless paddlers and athletes worldwide. At number 4, we have Waneek Horn Miller, an Olympic water polo player and fierce advocate for Indigenous rights. In 2000, she became the first Indigenous woman to play for Canada's national water polo team, competing in the Sydney Olympics. Beyond her Olympic achievements, Miller is known for her advocacy work, promoting Indigenous culture and empowering Indigenous youth. Her dual role as an athlete and activist makes her one of the most powerful voices in sports. Now we turn to Kenneth Moore. Moore became a Canadian junior hockey champion in 1930, scoring the winning goal with 40 seconds left in the game to win the Memorial Cup. He won 2 Allen Cup National Hockey Championships, and in 1932 traveled to Lake Placid, New York, to represent his country and the Cree Nation at the Olympics. There he scored a goal in the game against Poland, won a gold medal, and made history. Moore's success in the Winter Olympics opened the door for more Indigenous athletes to pursue winter sports and challenge the limits of their potential. Finally, we highlight Joseph Benjamin Keeper, an Olympic runner who competed in the 1924 Paris Olympics. Known for his speed and tenacity, Keeper was one of the earliest Indigenous athletes to compete on the world stage, setting the tone for future generations of Indigenous Olympians. These remarkable Indigenous athletes were not only trailblazers in their respective sports, but they broke barriers, overcame adversity, and inspired countless others to chase their dreams. Their stories continue to live on, reminding us all of the strength, resilience, and excellence of Indigenous athletes. Join us in the next part of our series, where we'll take a closer look at the legendary Indigenous hockey players who made their mark in the NHL. See you soon.